This tutorial will show you how to get started with creating an assessment using the Inspect item bank. This item bank can be accessed through the district's data warehouse, Illuminate. So the first thing you need to do is go ahead and sign into Illuminate. Find your way to the navigation bar at the top and select Assessments. Look for the subheading Item Bank. Go down and select Visit Item Bank. This will bring you into the item bank. Even though it says Illuminate, it's connected to Inspect. We are going to create a new assessment today. So we don't need new passage or new item. Click on New Assessment, select Create, put in a title for the assessment, Quiz Sample 3. You can give it a description such as Unit 1, Chapter 2. Click Create. Now you must choose standards before you can pick what items go on the test. So you're going to go ahead and select Common Core. It's the first one on the drop-down menu. Choose a subject, either English or Math. Today we're going to choose Math. And select a grade level. I'm going to select 6th grade today. There are a few ways you can select which standards you would like to assess. One is by clicking on Expand All and showing all of the standards available in 6th grade. If I wanted to select one, I can click on it. That links the standard to the assessment. Another way is to simply type in the standard code to the search box, such as 6.ns.1, and then that standard will come up. That's the one I've already selected. If I want to, I could go back and select the next standard. And finally, you'll see that it says recent up here. These are items I've used recently. I can just go ahead and click them from there. I don't want ratios and proportions. So now that I've got my 4 standards, I'm going to click Continue. This brings me to a search filter. This will give you many options you can filter your questions by, but the two you want to pay attention to are item types and attributes. We're going to look at item types. This is where you can select what type of question: multiple choice, selected response, evidence-based selected response. So I'm going to select a few of those and click Update Filters. The other one is attributes. When you click on attributes, you can see a variety of things. One is for item, the other is for passage. Since we're in math, we're not going to have a passage. So under items, I can look at the language of the question as well as the student response. I can select a difficulty level, low, medium, or high. I can select depth of knowledge. I can also filter for the standards for mathematical practice, SBAC claims and targets, as well as Bloom's taxonomy level. So for my first one, I'm not going to select any of those to filter by. Then I can go up to my standards, and rather than looking at all 246 items at once, I'm going to select just one standard. So I'm going to unselect all and select ns.1, update my filter. As I scroll down, the codes here show you the different item types. So multiple choice, explicit constructed response, non-traditional selected response. So I'm going to scroll up to the top, click on item type. I'm going to deselect a few so I have less to look at, and update my filter again. So what you'd want to do is go through and choose a variety of question types. When you look at the item, you can also see the rationale to see where students may have gone wrong if they selected a different answer, as well as a list of all the attributes, the multiple choice, the standards for mathematical practice, depth of knowledge, and so on. If I like the question, I'm going to click Add. Keep scrolling to look for another question, Add. If I've added one I don't want, I've changed my mind, I can hover back over the Add It button and click Remove. So you'll want to do that for a few different question types and add all the items you want. One thing to keep in mind is that when you go to the constructed response questions, these are not graded by Illuminate and will only be teacher scored. So you want to limit the number that you add there. So I'm going to go ahead and add question types for the rest of my standards. You'll see that I've now finished adding items to my assessment for each of the standards. I have 20 items covering 4 standards with various question types, and this shows me how many questions I have per standard. Now I can click Continue in order to generate my assessment. It will give me an overview where I can move the questions into a different order if I choose to do so. I can go back up and click Review so I can see all the questions that are on the test in the order that they're going to appear. I can also click on Booklet to choose some options for the font size and generate a test booklet as a PDF document that I will be able to print out for student use. Once that generates, I click on my PDF and I can print from here. I can also go back, and then finally I want to publish in order to link it up with Illuminate so that I can generate some Scantrons as well as have Illuminate score it for me. So that would be the last step, is to publish. And that's how you can create an assessment using the Inspect Databank in Illuminate.